this is Dolopo, and today we're going to talk about libido and fertility. And this is not my first video regarding libido. I've done at least 4, and they're very important to watch. If you are a fertility client, you've been instructed to watch those videos. I was very thorough, and I also should have been very thorough here during your initial treatment with me, during our consultation. And I'm bringing this up again because it is apparent that not all of you are doing some of your homework. I need you to do your homework. I'm going to reiterate that acupuncture needles do not have sperm. Acupuncture itself will not get you pregnant. You need your husband or your partner to help you get pregnant. And you need to ask yourself, if we're in this society where we need so much IUI or IVF, why is that the case? And so even if you're undergoing IUI or IVF, I still need you to have a high libido, because your libido in my practice is indicating to me the pretty much the energetic value of your energy of your kidneys. Most of you, if not all of you, should have this book, Healing with Whole Foods. I'm going to request that you really, I always say just learn 1 sentence a day. Well, during the May holiday for Memorial Day, I had, since it was a long weekend, I had the majority of you read through the water elements, especially regarding kidneys, and you should have read about libido, sexual activity, and stuff like that. So general symptoms of kidney imbalance, and we're talking energetically. One of the things it talks about is any urinary, sexual, or reproductive imbalances. I need your libido on a scale of 1 to 10 at an 8, 9, or 10. Your homework is for your husband or your partner to text me or send me an email. My text is private, or you can send it through AcuSimple, which is you can send through the electronic medical records there, or you can send through my private app at elementsinharmonyacupuncture.com. If you email it, make sure you text me and tell me that an email was sent. I need to know from your partner where your libido is on a scale 1 to 10. If you can be completely honest with me, great, but it would be nice to know exactly from your partner. Again, if you're natural, IUI or IVF, especially if it's IVF, I still need to make sure that the strength of your kidneys is very strong. And in my practice, I generate ideas about your health based on your libido. So let's break it down. In your late teens and 20s, you were primed for having a baby. You were primed. And I know not everyone is honest with me. I know not everyone is honest with me regarding how long they were on the birth control pill, if they sold some of their eggs, if they had abortions, if they took the morning after pill. Those things do matter, especially in our late 20s or late teens and 20s. If you were sexually abused, if you were sexually assaulted, these things to me, I'm not going to speak for other acupuncturists, I'm not going to speak for other doctors, I'm going to talk about my practice. That does matter to me. So let's say you just, lived a normal life and you were happy, and you just decided not to have, any babies in your 20s, when your body was primed to have babies. And so in your 30s, you're like early 30s, it's still not time for you. It wasn't the right time yet. But then you're 35 and over, and now you're physically ready. Well, one of the things you'll learn in this book that has to do with the energy of the kidneys has to do with fear. Now we're starting to be concerned about being able to conceive naturally. And sometimes the IVF doesn't work. I just did a report for one of my doctorate classes regarding the success rate of IVF. I'm going to just stick to the libido part in this video. I need your libido 8, 9, or 10. And I want your magnificent obsession right now to be everything about how you can increase your libido. I did a few libido videos already. One of them I talked about the sense the things that men can smell that increases circulation of blood in the penile region. That's very important. It is critical, please, that you watch my videos because I'm extremely thorough. And these sex talk videos are not just for fun, they are to be taken seriously. I want you to get pregnant. And you can go to a therapist and definitely talk to, a therapist about miscarriages or fears and, whatever issues you're having. And you want to make sure that the ball is moving forward. I would include a sex therapist. Do what you gotta do. Some of the homework assignments I've given, and barely any of you are responding to me on what your husband thinks. Your husband needs to be a part of this. He needs you to have sex with him. It can't just be, I'm gonna have sex during ovulation. I've said it in so many of my videos, and I'm gonna keep saying it now. If you do things the way you want to do it and you don't follow my advice, in 6 months to 12 months, if you're still not pregnant, I'm going to definitely refer you out, because that's not how I got pregnant. I was told many, many years ago that I may not have children. So I worked on my health from age 20 to 30. And at 30, when I decided to have babies, when I was 29, and I conceived, no, I gave birth I must have conceived sometime around 29, and I gave birth when I was 30, and it was in May. So what happens there was not trying hard. And then at 36, I conceived again, not trying hard. And at 43, I conceived again, not trying hard. We weren't trying. I hate that word trying. Don't ever say I'm trying to conceive. If you want to keep saying it and it gets you pregnant, awesome. But the majority, if not all of my clients who've come to see me for fertility, I tell them, don't try. Just have sex with your husband. Don't even tell people that you're trying, because then there's eyes on you and how's that going, and then the conversation about your sex life, or the conversation about not even sex life, but the conversation about we're trying. No, your husband needs to have sex 2 to 3 times a week, and your job is to please him. Let me do my job, and we'll do the acupuncture and the herbs and the moxibustion and all that. But your job is to please him. When I give an assignment saying I need you to ask your husband, what can I do for you sexually? How can I provide happiness for you? And you're not reporting to me that you shared that, that means he's not included in our work together. The acupuncture needles do not, these needles, they don't have sperm. I don't know what you think that the needles are going to do. It will definitely, in my 22 years of practice, I boast that it'll help your hormones and it'll make you feel calm. I'm no longer doing calm, relaxing treatments. I'm going to be doing aggressive, healthy, happy, horny, get you hot and heavy treatments. That's how it has to be from now on, because I think some of you ladies are misconstruing this as, oh, acupuncture is going to be so relaxing. I think for some of you, it's becoming so relaxing that it's not becoming exciting in the bedroom. When you were in your 20s, when we're in our 20s, we're like really trying to turn this guy on. But then some of us aren't ready to have babies. Now you're older and now you want to have a baby. You have to have that mentality and sex drive of a woman in her 20s, 24 to 27, 18 to 29, somewhere around there. Think of how you were. If you're putting so much effort in work or so much effort into everything else except your husband, the attention is in the wrong place. The attention has to be all about him. He has to feel like you want him, not just at ovulation time. You want him. You want to F him. You want him. You just want to jump his bones. I don't know how else to share this with you. Use handcuffs. Use blindfolds. Use, whatever you need to do. Get a Kama Sutra book. I just went online and there's all this information on getting hot and heavy, healthy, happy, horny. No, I'm getting hot and heavy and horny. Hot and horny. That's 2 words. I'm dropping it from 3 words to two words. Hot and horny. And if that is not happening, if your vagina hurts, if what's going on internally hurts when you have sex, we have an issue. We may want to include a physical therapist who focuses on pelvic floor work. you may want to consider other kinds of doctors and healers that's going to help you become hot and horny. So I did a little research. Um, Definitely get this book, and I will fill it out for you. If I have not already, you'll see that there's stuff just on the kidneys, strengthening the kidneys right here. Everything that's highlighted in green, all that line, you should be focusing on that, kidneys. And there's a section on fertility. And let's see if there's something on libido in this book. There should be. Libido, longevity. Libido. He does not talk about specifically libido there. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you strengthen your kidneys, your libido is going to increase. Sexual activity, right there. He discusses a little bit about sexual activity. I had shared in a different video about sex, and you got to have healthy, happy, hot and heavy sex with your husband. And if your libido's low, we have a serious issue. I asked all these women today, where's your libido? One person said it was a 9 on a scale of 1 to 10. We need your libido high. And I assumed by sharing this video, these other libido videos with you ladies, that you were getting it, but it's becoming very clear to me that you're not. If you have anxiety, and that is a predominant issue, that anxiety is contributing to low libido. We need to make sure the libido, the anxiety heals. You need to heal from anxiety at least by 90+%. You have to do what you got to do. And if you're going to see a therapist, you better see a really good therapist. And talk about herbs with me, specifically on helping you feel well, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. I want you to get, I know this is sounding drastic, but I need you to stop thinking like a 40+-year-old woman or a woman in her late 30s and start thinking like a woman who's 27 who's like, oh man, I want to jump that guy's bones. That's how you have to look at it. How do you think I got pregnant at 43? We were having, I said this already in other videos. I already said this in other videos, but I just shared it with someone and she was like, oh, I didn't know that. No, you have to know it because I shared it in other videos. I got pregnant at 43 because I was having hot and heavy sex with my husband in all kinds of hotels. All kinds of hotels. We were traveling all the time, and we didn't think it was going to happen because we already had our 2 kids. Hot, heavy, horny. And when I got pregnant, I was not ovulating. And my periods are perfect. My periods are perfect. Black raspberries. I'm going to share some information that I found on the internet. And this is on shape.com. Now, you may think maybe this is true or false, but I didn't even go to PubMed. I just went straight to, you know, what most people would look at. So let's see. Start slideshow. So if you go to shape.com, you will see some of this information. Foods, 10 foods that increase libido and 3 that kill it. Black raspberries. This phytochemical-rich food enhances both libido and sexual endurance, by doctors Anna Maria and Brian Clements, authors of 7 Key to Lifelong Sexual Vitality. There. And directors of the Hippocrates Health Institute in West Palm Beach, Florida. So, black raspberries. Consume some black raspberries or a tablespoon of seeds a few hours before getting busy. So, you can see that at shape.com. I didn't search far. Now you can do your own research, but I'm just going to give you some of this information here. The second one is broccoli. Raw, sauteed, or cooked. Preferably, I'm going to tell you from a Chinese medical perspective, I prefer that you saute it or cook it. Toss this vegetable in your salad or alongside your steak to increase libido. I suggest it here because of the high vitamin C content, says Carrie Glassman, registered dietitian and author of The New You and Improved Diet. Vitamin C aids in blood circulation to organs and has also been associated with improved female libido. So that's important to understand. I want you in general to eat a lot of green leafy vegetables. I'm not going to go through this book because you have this book. I'm just going straight online. Cloves. This super sex food is versatile when it comes to cooking. It can be brewed in hot apple cider, infused into your favorite dish, or added to a chai tea latte. In India, cloves have been used to treat male sexual dysfunction for centuries, says Glassman. Research published in the journal BMC Complementary and Alternative Medicine agrees, discovering that clove extracts produce an increase in the sexual activity of normal male rats. Cloves are also used to rid bad breath, which can't hurt your kissing skills either. Glassman also suggests using powdered cloves in Mexican food and add a little cumin and cinnamon, and you've got a tasty, multifaceted aphrodisiac. So, what I really want you to focus on is, and you know, this is a day and age where you can just go on your phone and just look up aphrodisiacs and really focus on it. I want you having sex 2 to 3 times a week with your husband or your partner, and not only during ovulation. That really perturbs me when I find out that a person says, I can only have sex with my husband during ovulation. Keep doing that for a year, and if you're not pregnant yet, please follow my advice. We need to really, the herbs, the acupuncture, the moxibustion, we have to really focus on libido with all of you, if not most of you. Figs. Want to be completely irresistible the next time your partner sees you? There's a simple food solution. Figs. They're considered excellent stimulants of fertility, enhances the secretion of pheromones, says Dr. Clement. Feast on the fruit before getting it on and find out for yourself. So go get some figs. I want to interject the importance of making sure that you're doing Qigong specifically for the kidneys, and you're focusing as much as possible on satisfying your husband and finding out how you can satisfy yourself sexually, but especially with your husband, since this is about making a baby. I don't care if it's natural IUI or IVF, you need to have a high libido. Okay, watermelon. Chocolate has a reputation of being the aphrodisiac of choice for those with a sweet tooth, but researchers at the University of Guelph, Guelph, Guelph in Canada found that this is most likely just a myth. Though ingredients like phenylethylamine in chocolate may boost serotonin and endorphin levels, there is no link between chocolate and improved sexual performance or arousal. So if you're really looking for a sweet libido booster, stick to a slice of watermelon. Although it's 92% water, that remaining 8% of fruit is jam-packed with vital nutrients for sexual health. Researchers at the Texas A&M Fruit and Vegetable Improvement Center reported finding in 2008 that watermelon has ingredients that delivered Viagra-like effects to the human body's blood vessels and could even aid in increasing libido. Watermelon contains a phytonutrient called citrulline, which the body converts to arginine, an amino acid that boosts nitric oxide levels in the body, which relax blood vessels in the same way a medicine like Viagra does, says Dr. Clement. Arginine or arginine, I don't know how exactly to pronounce that. So you're seeing a lot of these are healthy foods. These are foods that you can just get today and start putting it as part of your diet at least, 3 to 6 days a week at least. Eggs, poached, scrambled, fried, deviled, no matter how you make them, a couple of eggs will rev you up after a long day so you can go the distance in the dark. Eggs are high in protein, which is a source of stamina, and they're also low in calories, Glassman says. In addition, they're a good source for an amino acid L-arginine, which has been shown effective in treating types of heart ailments and erectile dysfunction. So maybe it's arginine. I think it's arginine. We're just going to keep calling it that. So eggs. If you are allergic to eggs, don't eat the eggs. But if you can eat eggs, eat eggs. A lot of people came from a different doctor when they came to see me for fertility when he had gotten sick, and there was a don't eat this, don't eat this, don't eat this. My method is more like, I want you to eat this, I want you to eat this, I want you to eat this. So if you prefer to know what not to eat, they're going to discuss that in a few minutes, but I really recommend you focus on eating foods to strengthen the energy of your kidneys. Okay, strengthening your jing qi, strengthening the quality of your eggs, strengthening the quality, the motility, morphology, and mobility of the sperm. A lot of sperm. I want things on the higher end instead of the lower end. Ginseng. Okay, I'm going to tell you as an herbalist, don't take ginseng every day. It would be maybe like 2 to 4 times a week. Don't do it every day. Researchers at the University of Hawaii found that women who took a ginseng supplement showed a significant increase in libido in a month, and 68% also said their overall sex life improved dramatically. Add ginseng into your diet or try one of the many ginseng teas available, Glassman says. Just don't just don't jump at the sight of ginseng, though. Many energy drinks that claim to have ginseng in them also contain chemicals and tons of sugar. So, ginseng can be very warming, can be very hot producing. So, please use it maybe like two. Some of you can take it 5 times a week, um, but just, and definitely not in like an energy drink. If it's something that can stay on a shelf and last forever, stay away from those, okay? I'd rather you focus on healthy cook, foods that do have a shelf life and as natural as possible as Mother Nature intended. Saffron, though on the pricey side, this spice is a treat for your stomach and sex life. Researchers at the University of Guelph have found that saffron can improve sexual performance. To use, Glassman suggests soaking the threads in hot liquid for 15 minutes, then adding to any grain like rice, quinoa, or barley, or use it in a soup or stew. One thing that I will say that I do is I have a very wide range of foods that I eat. So I've never really taken anything out. And part, I believe, of my tremendous health is having a variety of foods to eat. Lettuce, a small salad with oil and vinegar. That's exactly how I love my salad. A small salad with oil and vinegar as dressing will dressing might rev your sex drive. Iceberg lettuce contains an opiate that helps to activate sex hormones, says Dr. Clement. Nosh on a bowl at dinner and you'll be ready to go by the time you turn in for the night. So just have I like to add a lot of spinach to my salads. Ginger. I'm big on ginger. It can be a little warming, but, just use small. King Henry VII and the ancient Asians were astute when using ginger for medicinal purposes, says Dr. Clement. In the 21st century, those of us who know about botanical pharmaceuticals know that ginger helps circulation temperature adjustments and mucoid detoxification. That means mucus-like residue that can coat your GI tract and is also a libido enhancer, whether raw in supplement form or added to your favorite recipe or drink. Ginger also lends itself to defense against winter's hard cold and flu season, which is good because trying to get frisky with a runny nose never ends well. So again, I'm reading this directly from Shape, and you can get that information there. I want to make it clear that you should have this book, Healing with Whole Foods, but I want to make sure that you also do a lot of research. I'm putting this information here so you can kind of get a sense of some of the stuff that I was able to find. I'm just going to stick to one resource. Libido killer. Ooh, everyone wants to eat oysters. Oysters have been dubbed as the king of libido boosters, but don't buy into all the hype. Oysters are a well-known source of zinc, which plays a central role in the creation of hormones and clitoris sensitivity, but they are also a toxic food, Dr. Clement say. Oysters and other shellfish can absorb the toxins and parasites in the ocean, which can often outweigh the benefits of zinc. Skip the seafood and chow down on spinach for a similar low-calorie, high-zinc option. So here's the thing. If you like oysters, then just don't eat it all the time. Just eat it maybe like once or twice a month, okay? And get your zinc primarily from spinach. Libido killer. So they're basically saying oysters may not necessarily do the job when it comes to increasing libido. However, in this book, the Healing with Whole Foods book, I think they do mention oysters. So take things with a grain of salt. Just don't eat oysters every day. That may do a little more harm than good. Libido killer, processed baked goods. Yet another reason to limit sugary treats, they might zap your sex drive. Baked goods contain saturated trans fats that wreak havoc on human cells, including the immune system, say doctors Clement. They surround the cells, coagulate them so that vital food glucose can't be absorbed and remains in the blood, raising blood sugar and lowering libido. The fats also clog ventricles, reducing oxygen to sexual organs and prevent the spleen from producing enough white blood cells, so eggs and sperm have difficulty multiplying. Yikes. So in other words, cut down on the processed foods, especially processed sweets. And they had a picture of a cake. Take things with a grain of salt, but you want to make sure that you really cut down on those sweet things. So the next libido killer is dairy. Ice cream and cream cheese addicts may want to switch to a lactose-free alternative once in a while. The Clements say that the lactic acid in dairy and oxygen-destroying elements can squash a libido at any level, but don't forget dairy's best benefit, calcium. It's linked to cell and sexual health. When cells are healthy, they increase sensitivity for better circulation to genitalia, thus giving you more pleasure. Stock up on calcium-rich soy milk, leafy greens, sprouted beans, cabbage, broccoli, and wheatgrass juice. So I'm not going to say that I'm completely dairy-free, but I don't do a lot of dairy. So if you love dairy, then consider, what they recommend, the alternatives. So don't make dairy a staple in your diet. So that is, those are 3 libido killers: dairy and, processed foods, as well as oysters. So those are things to consider. I really would like for you guys to take really seriously having sex, amazing sex, 2 to 3 times a week during ovulation. And the week of ovulation, just really have a lot of fun. But the other weeks of the month, I would like for you to have, the regular sex if you can't be super healthy, horny throughout the month. But it is necessary for daddy to have sex at least twice a week. He needs it for his testosterone. So I hope this video was very helpful for you. I know I got a little heated up over there earlier regarding sex, but your libido has to be high, anxiety has to be extremely low, if not non-existent, and that's my work. And that's something we always have to talk about, is how are you healing? We need to heal. We need to hopefully one day see an end to feeling anxious. You should feel happy and relaxed and calm and energetic and feel really energetic, really vital. You should have high vitality to have sex. This mundane sex is not going to get you where you want to go. The sex is not a side thing in the treatment. The sex is the main course. The acupuncture is a side thing. The herbs are a side thing. The moxibustion is a side thing. The writing is a side thing. The assignments I give you are a side thing. The 5 minutes a day to change your life forever, that's a side thing. The sex is powerful. And I don't care, again, if you're doing IVF, you gotta have a strong sex life, okay? Unless your doctors say, hey, don't have sex right now, then listen to your doctors. But you should, daddy needs to have sex. And mommy needs to have sex too. And you got to do what it takes. Got to go online and do a little bit of research. Do one thing a day that's going to increase your vitality, increase your drive for, for sex. I don't know how else to say it, but it is a critical part of your health. Sex is a critical part of your health, a great sex life. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Please watch all of my videos, especially the ones regarding sex. Take care.